And we are live from our normal studios.
Whoa. What's going on with that? All right. Hey, everybody. What's happening?
Hey, so we are here with the Coin Show Hangout.
Yep.
And tonight, we have some very special guests, a couple more than normal. So
yeah, I know, right?
Let's start by bringing on our guests. Tonight's first guest is host of the Darkside and writes the column The Darkside for numismatic journals everywhere, Jack Young.
Hey, Jack. Good to see you, buddy.
Hey, good to see everybody.
Joining Jack Young is a young and up-and-coming numismatist. I like to refer to him as Young Jack. Jack Smith.
What's up, buddy?
What's up, Jack? You're muted, bud. Yeah, you're still muted.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out in a minute. Okay. You just talk, and then when we hear you, we'll let you know. Technical difficulties.
It's all right. It's live and in person.
It's okay. We have joining us also from BCoin QA, Shannon Smith.
The Shantastic one.
Fantastic.
What's up, everyone?
What's happening?
And last but not least, somebody who is a star of YouTube. And this has been a really intriguing guest to have. And I'm really interested to see what happens tonight. Please welcome T the Silver Stacker.
Oh, my goodness gracious. T the Silver Stacker is here.
Hey guys, room, apparently.
It's pretty dark over here.
Yeah.
Let's see how dark it is. Yeah, it's pretty dark.
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty dark.
Let's see here.
I love that.
There we go. That's a little bit better.
Oh, my goodness.
Satisfying the curiosity of quite a few viewers. What does that guy look like?
His face has been revealed.
Yeah, after 3 years plus on YouTube.
I was kind of thinking of it as a God, what was the next door neighbor on Home Improvement?
Oh, yeah, the guy over the fence.
Wilson.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wilson, there you go.
Wilson on Home Improvement. That's what I was thinking. It's like
we should have put a fence across the thing.
I actually liked the joke with it being dark. It was like, well, he's in a dark room.
Yeah, yes. He did the face reveal. It's just dark in there.
Yeah, you know what? Here I am.
Well, I got to get myself a little organized here because Mr. Jack Young's face is covered by the chat bar, and that is not acceptable. So,
yes,
we're just going to cover Mike's face. No, I'm just kidding.
That's fine. I don't care. Help the people out.
We'll put it right here between us.
As usual, as is tradition, we are going to start out our evening with two truths and a lie.
Oh, no.
Because I sprung it on pretty much everybody. I'm going to start. I still can't hear Young Jack. No.
You're muted, my friend.
It doesn't show there. Yeah.
Better get a notepad. Just write down what you want to say.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, get paper. Or can you do sign language?
Make him hold up. Make him hold up a
sign.
You
can just give thumbs up or thumbs down. Yeah.
There you go. We'll go I'll get him back in here.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are starting off with two truths and a lie.
And I'm going to start. Unless you want to start, Matt.
No, go ahead. Go ahead, friend.
Okay. So my two truths and a lie. My wife and I met at a White Sox game. I have survived a tornado. I once owned a 10-foot python that roamed freely around my apartment.
Oh, wow, those are all very difficult.
I wanted to teach people something about me. Okay, Matt.
Okay, let's see here. Which one do I want to start with? I am currently in Kansas City, Missouri. I have, let's see, my wife on our first date pepper sprayed herself. And I have 3 children, a dog, a fish, and 2 frogs. There you go.
Okay. And a smoke alarm. Or no,
someone has a smoke detector that needs.
Yeah. Probably comes free with the hotel room. Jack.
Hello.
There he is.
Yes, yes.
You hear me?
Jack is with us.
Yes, yes.
All right.
All right, cool. So,
Good.
Jack Young.
Okay, I'll start. I entered the hobby collecting Lincoln cents with my grandmother back when my son said the dinosaurs still roam the earth. Through my counterfeit researching, I've become a near expert in grading and authenticating Morgan dollars. And I have over 70 articles published, really in just about every venue with the exception of Coin World.
Yeah. Forget those guys. Jerks. Oh, sorry.
Okay. Mr. Shanimal.
Okay, well, you're making this hard. So I'm going to say that, well, first of all, I am currently trying to put together the entire 160 plus DDR collection for the West Virginia Harpers Ferry Quarter.
How many?
When I was growing up, I was a gymnast, and in 1988, I tried out for the Olympics. Let's see, what else? Also, when I was younger, I got invited to several young Miss America or Miss Preteen pageants because of my name.
Oh. These are all interesting things we're going to learn about people. I feel there's stories behind this stuff.
Yes, that's exactly why we do this.
Two truths and a lie, T.
All right, my turn. Here we go. Let's see. I'll go with Mike's White Sox theme. I once participated in a kissing contest at the White Sox game.
Ooh.
I am the proud owner of a 16D Mercury dime. And the third one, I have an extensive collection of Mexican silver Libertads.
Okay.
And last but certainly not least, young Jack.
All right. I had a collection of Morgan dollars at one point. They're gonna kind of be coin related because I had to come up with them on the spot.
Okay.
Does the
I
beat mean
have
he's lying?
I don't know.
Part of the
That's
show.
our
I
lie
have a-
detector, yes.
You get high tech here.
I know. I don't like US coins, and I started going into the shop that Mike is at when I was 13.
Okay, so what was the first one?
I had a collection of Morgan dollars at one point. I hate US coins. And I started going into Mike's shop or the shop that Mike works at when I was 13.
Okay. So I think these are all really interesting points, and we'll learn some really cool things about people. So let's start where we started. So what did you guys think? I have survived a tornado. My wife and I met at a White Sox game, or I once owned a 10-foot python that roamed freely around my apartment.
You have not survived a tornado. I bet you. You seem like the kind of guy that would own a 10-foot python that roamed freely around his apartment. Okay.
I was kind of thinking maybe he never went to a White Sox game.
No. You know Mike. You know he loves the White Sox. So.
Yeah, I was thinking he might have met his wife at a White Sox game because there's so few fans there. It's pretty easy to mingle.
What if
Ouch.
Shots
Ouch.
fired.
You know, it might be 12 people there.
What if
It
he
was
met
like-
his What if he met his wife at a White Sox game while surviving a tornado carrying a 10-foot python?
Well,
There's something.
there's some
what
python
she
jokes there. I'm not going there. It's too early in
These are
the night, guys.
anaconda jokes. All right, Jack Young.
I was next.
Wait a
Actually.
minute. Wait a minute. Yeah, what are your thoughts? I'm sorry.
Oh, we're voting on which one you think is fake?
Yeah. Yeah, you already pretty much said what you thought was fake.
Yeah.
T said what he was. Did you? T?
Let's see.
Well, now you're supposed to reveal. We're not voting on everyone. Just reveal.
Whatever.
All right.
So my lie was my wife and I met at a White Sox game.
I knew it.
Oh.
I knew it.
Met at work.
Really?
So yes, I
That
did
makes a lot
have
of
a
sense.
10-foot reticulated python that roamed freely around my apartment.
What was its name?
His name was Monty, of course.
Monty.
Oh,
Nice.
And
can't-
I have survived a tornado.
I can't fault you for the name Monty. It's a good one.
As a matter of fact, I was in a town, Decatur, Illinois, that had tornadoes hit it on consecutive nights. So the first night, they literally hit the street, the backyards of the people across the street from me. That's where the destruction went. So it's there for the grace of God go I. I mean, because really, seriously, I was carrying, there was no warning, there was no sirens, there was no nothing. It was just the lights went out, the freight train went by, and that was that. And I was walking upstairs with my less than 2-year-old daughter.
Have you seen the previews for the new Twisters movie?
Oh no.
No. And you know what's funny is it was right around the time that came out, right after.
Yeah, that was a great movie back in the day.
Never saw it.
Yeah.
It could never match up to the real thing. So, yes, and the very next night I was on the opposite end of town, and a tornado went across the opposite end of town. And, yeah, it's just weird. But
You're just a tornado magnet.
First night. Matt, what's your lie?
Okay, so my 3 were that I am currently in Kansas City, Missouri, that my wife pepper sprayed herself in the face on our first date, and that I have 3 children, a dog, a fish, and 2 frogs.
And you're in Detroit.
I am currently in Detroit, Michigan, not Kansas City, because we went to a Red Wings game today, and it was awesome. So there you go. That's why I'm not at home in my studio.
Is that like hockey?
It is hockey. Yeah, it was good.
Uh-oh.
Tar knuckles is going on.
Another lie was
I have
spoken.
a bird.
Yeah. Oh, you have a bird? I forgot about the bird.
Yeah,
I
it's
forgot
like
about the
it's
bird.
going off like that. It's just kind of what happens.
He just, for some reason, sometimes when I start talking, I guess he wants to talk along.
Put him on
I don't
camera.
My brother had a parrot, and anytime he would get on the phone, the bird would just go nuts in the background.
Yeah, I think that's what it's got to be that.
Jack Young, what was your lie?
My lie.
Yes.
When I said I was a near expert at authenticating and grading Morgans, I actually wouldn't know an MS-66 if it bit me in the van. I mean, I wouldn't.
Oh,
that was my
that
lie.
slab is fake, though.
Yep.
But the slab is fake, absolutely.
Yep.
Chad,
Eric says, Matt, what about the Blackhawks? I'm sorry. I had to turn coat. I'm sorry. My fault.
That's sad.
I know.
So I said that I'm collecting all of the Harper's Ferry DDRs, which is a ton. When I was younger, I was a gymnast, and I tried out for the 1988 Olympics.
Are you half Romanian?
Huh? Am I half Romanian?
Are you half Romanian?
Part of me is, maybe.
Okay.
I don't know which part, but the gymnast part. And then I was invited to several beauty pageants because of my name.
That's a tough one.
I'm going to go with the Olympics.
So the double dice thing has got to be true, just because.
Because I just know
Because he's a total nerd, I know, right?
And it's like, and I've been invited to the beauty pageants and stuff like that, so that's not really that big.
Yeah, I think I don't think you're an accomplished gymnast as a child, but maybe.
Well, I will say that when I was a teenager, I was actually a gymnast, and I was pretty decent, and I competed, but I did not try out for the Olympics.
There you go.
But I did go to a gymnastics camp in '87 that was put on by one of the guys that did go to the '88 Olympics.
Oh, cool.
Vodka.
No,
I mean, it's pretty cool.
that's pretty cool.
That is very cool.
It was interesting. So.
Yeah.
All right, my turn.
That's brings I'll bet. Yes. So now on to T.
All right, I did participate in a kissing contest at a White Sox game.
What was the contest? I'm curious.
It started in the first inning. You got to take a break between innings, and it was put on by the group that was doing Tony and Tina's wedding. I don't know if you've ever heard of that play. Yeah, Mike has heard of it.
Wait. So you had to kiss the
Yeah,
other person for the whole inning?
For the whole game. The goal was
See?
to make it the whole game. And I was actually on TV. I smartly positioned my girlfriend at the time, who you now know as Mrs. T.
Okay, so it was Mrs. T.
I smartly positioned her with her face towards the scoreboard and mine towards the field as we were making out, so I could watch the game at the same time. And then after we got home, she was very upset with me because as her siblings were watching the game and recording, they got a good kick out of the fact that, remember Hawk and Wimpy, the two announcers? One of them said, "Hey, it looks like that guy's losing interest in the contest. He's watching the game." I was. And it's kissing for that long is a lot harder than it looks.
Oh, yeah.
I do have an extensive collection of Libertads. The lie was I am not the proud owner of a 16D Mercury dime, but I'd love to have one in my collection. I'm kind
But
of
he's willing to learn.
What's that?
But you're willing to learn
Willing to learn?
on a 16D. I'm not the owner of a 16D, but I'm willing to learn.
Yes, there you go. I'm looking for one right now. As a matter of fact, I'm going to a coin show in Orland Park tomorrow. Mike, are you going to be at that one?
No. As a matter of fact, Russ and I are going to be in Rockford.
Rockford.
Said Rockford.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we're going to be doing that.
All righty.
Lastly, not leastly, young Jack, tell us about your lives. They're all lies, aren't they?
My lie was that I collected Morgan dollars. I did not do that. But I don't like U.S. coins in a way, especially which I think is the deal mainly in U.S. And I think I did start going into Harlem Berkeley around when I was 13, so really young Jack.
Yes, he did. As a matter of fact, he came in when I was just starting there, and yeah, I was impressed with the kid from the start. So, all right, well, thanks for playing our game, because I think it teaches us all a little bit about each other. It's, I mean, the thing about the snake is something I wouldn't necessarily put in my bio, but hey, this is fun time. So there's tons of cocktails. We get to expose ourselves a little bit more. So speaking of exposing yourself a little bit more, T, what was it that brought you to want to do this tonight?
Oh, hey, you guys asked, and so why not? I've been kind of kicking around the idea of doing a face reveal. And what better way than with a couple of my buddies and the rest of you guys here hanging out?
Well, we are honored, actually. I was just going to say something about that. So,
very much so.
Yes.
Yeah, well, it's been 3 years, so I thought, well, maybe it's time.
Maybe it's
your
time.
channel is just doing really well lately, isn't it?
Oh, hey, thanks. Yeah, it's it just keeps growing, and I'm marching. Not as fast as I'd like. Of course, every YouTuber would like to just grow exponentially, but I'm slowly marching towards 20,000 subscribers, which is going to be a pretty cool threshold to hit. Looking forward to that. Maybe by the end of the month. I don't know. It all depends on how popular my videos are. When I have popular videos, it spikes up, and when I don't, the nice thing is about doing as many videos as I've done, people still watch the old stuff and find the old stuff. So there's always like a little base that, finds me and then subscribes. But those popular videos and those spikes are certainly helpful.
That's fun. And speaking of videos, I got the grades back on the NGC coins. They're on the way back to my office.
Okay.
So I will have them sometime middle of next week. Just putting that out there for you. Make your plans accordingly.
Yeah,
whatever they shall be.
Give me a holler, and we'll make a point of figuring out our schedule and making our way down there.
Yep. T and I we opened an original roll of Libertads, and we sent 5 of them to PCGS,
right,
and 5 of them to NGC.
You got it.
What about CACG?
I don't think they were doing foreign at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I don't think they're still doing foreign.
Interesting.
What's that?
I think that would also be interesting.
Oh yeah, sure. I'm not even sure they're doing world at the moment. Are they? Modern, maybe. I don't know. I don't know, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure to head down there to your shop, Matt. And then while I'm down there, I'll go visit my buddy Kevin as well.
Yeah.
We've got a mutual friend, Kevin Hunt, at the Coin Hunt. So it's I hit all the spots.
You do spread yourself around pretty well. So did you get like a plaque for 10,000 subscribers?
No, my understanding is the only plaque you get is at 100K. And
Wow.
that's a long way off. And Mrs. T and I were just having that conversation. It seemed like I was going just really, really slowly. And then I hit 1,000 and then I kind of ramped up a little bit. And then I kind of leveled off. And then when I hit 10,000, it seemed to ramp up pretty fast and then level off. And I kind of wonder if that's going to happen with 20K. If I'm going to, YouTube algorithm is going to click and I'm going to get another little shot in the arm and, zoom up fast, or if it's just going to be a steady climb. I really don't know. I haven't, after 3 years, I still haven't been able to figure out the whole YouTube algorithm and all the tricks. I just try to make good content that people enjoy, and whatever happens,
Well, even if you were a rocket scientist, you may not figure out the YouTube algorithm.
Yeah.
So that said, hopefully what happens is the spikes, when you get them, are going to be bigger, right?
Mm-hmm.
You'll get more momentum with each one of them. That's really cool.
The main thing is, though, more so than the numbers, is the fact that we enjoy ourselves. Mrs. T is my partner in crime, and we enjoy visiting you guys and others and learning and making this whole transition from, silver stacker and from stacker to collector, and bringing along a whole bunch of people with us. It's very satisfying to have us run into somebody at a coin show or have a comment on a video and, hey, I got into XYZ because I saw Matt Dinger show it on, your YouTube channel, or Mike and Russ got into this big challenge and they both had cool coins. And I wound up stopping by the shop and saying hi to the guys at Harlan J. Burke and dragging those, kind of piquing the interest in those stackers and hopefully converting a few along the way.
Yeah. I definitely can tell you that we've had people come in my office that were like, hey, I saw you on T the Silver Stacker. So
I will tell you what, that's the one that we get the most. And it's like, and I do 3 podcasts, and the most, it's like, yeah, I saw you on T the Silver. Okay, cool. Good for him.
Yeah.
That's great. So Jack, let's see. Jack Young.
Young Jack and Jack Young. Wow, that's confusing. That's not confusing or anything.
No, actually, I think it has a really good ring to it. I love having it. So, tell us about what you got going on. What you got going on, girl?
So, old Jack, right?
No, Jack Young. You.
Which Jack?
You.
Me.
Not
okay. Well, of course, you know about Darkside, which was the counterfeiting group I started on Facebook back in 2016. And as I said, the last time we were together, it started with about 16 people and has now grown to over 850. And that continues to take quite a bit of energy. And, there's a lot of reports almost every day of coins that have come into the coin shops or seen on eBay or whatever they may be. And with all the experts that we have there, we're getting good opinions normally pretty quickly, but it's also very interesting to see the number of people and dissenting opinions that we get amongst the experts as well. And we had one just this week. It was a PCGS half cent that appeared that probably the images were photoshopped, and it made the coin look off. And of course, in my research, I was able to find the genuine coin. And when you compared them side by side, they did not look like the same coin. The only thing that really helped was there was toning that, the counterfeiters hadn't figured out how to duplicate toning yet. And so that was the one thing that allowed us to match the 2 coins. But it's probably 50-50, Matt. We had very big dealers saying, no, it's no good, and very big dealers saying, yeah, I would buy it. So, it's a very difficult thing to do just by images. And I think that's probably one of the things that proved
So what do you do in that
Of course,
case?
my second group. I'm
What do
sorry.
you do in that case, Jack?
Well, in that case, there really wasn't a decision rendered other than, I guess maybe I'm the tiebreaker. And again, seeing the toning pattern, and I've seen the counterfeiters, I've seen the Chinese try to tone coins. In fact, I've got a couple of Drake Bus large cents where they tone them, and they're just splotchy, and they're just issues that you see. You see where they held the coin, so it's not toned in that one spot. They haven't been able to duplicate it. And to me, that's like a fingerprint. When you see a toning pattern on a coin, that's a fingerprint. And to me, it was a genuine coin, and was the same coin because of the toning. But the guy had photoshopped it so much, there were some small blemishes here and there, but nothing that wasn't consistent with the grade. And the coin was a great coin, but he decided to smooth it out, and that created kind of a stir among everybody that was looking at that coin for sale on eBay.
That's one of the.
He took it down. That was the interesting thing, is I think there were people that were actually, banging him for it, and he took the listing down. So it was kind of interesting.
That's one of the hardest things in this industry to learn, is how to authenticate coins from images. It's not easy. It's freaking hard. And a lot of the times, as somebody that helps run retail-facing groups that sell numismatics, that's hard. Like, part of what I do in these groups is help try to kind of weed out the counterfeits that come floating along, and you don't want to be wrong. I mean, I don't want to call a real coin bad, and vice versa. I don't want to call a bad coin good. So it's a difficult thing to do coins from images, especially authentication on certain things.
Yeah, especially when people start doctoring the images.
Exactly. The ones that are easy are the ones that are really off. I mean, we see a lot of them. The red book can tell you that coin's no good. But there are some that, and of course you guys have seen some of the ones I have in TBG holders. That I mean, those are the ones that keep you up at night. I mean, they're that good.
So how can they find your group if our viewers want to see it?
Well, really, the best way, Darkside is really a secret group, and so that's one that people can just get a hold of me. They can get a hold of Matt. Mike can get a hold of you. I mean, we're all moderators and admins. Yep. And we'd be happy to add people to that group. My Fun with Fakes group is a little easier to find, and that was the one I started, more of a beginners, if you will. We got a lot of beginner collectors on that group, and we're just kind of having fun with that. More with some that aren't that difficult, but are difficult if you just don't have the experience to do it. And we're trying to just walk through that. And we've had some really cool coins, and I've done some contests, try to get participation, and that group has grown. It started with 10 or 12, and now it's 150 some, because I basically challenged some of the members there, invite friends. If you have friends that will benefit from this format and would like to learn, invite them. And we had a big splurge of new members here over the last couple of days. That's a Facebook group as well, though. And I guess really the only other thing that I've got going is kind of in the works here, but the Anti-Counterfeiting Education Foundation, the Anti-Counterfeiting Task Force, basically that board was dissolved. That group is now a standalone group. It had been under the umbrella of a couple other organizations ever since its inception back in 2018 or whenever it started. And that group is now a standalone. There was a new board of directors that was voted on, and then I am now on the board of directors of that group. And so that's a neat opportunity for me. They posted who all's on that. It's, other than me, it's the who's among the numismatists. And I'm very excited about the energy level and hope to see that there's going to be some real progress made on that end. To me, that group in the past, you could report things, but you never heard anything after that. You could see where they're monitoring websites, and they know where some of the bad folks are, but you don't see a lot of, is there anything actually happening? Are we actually stopping eBay? Are we stopping Amazon? Are we doing anything to prevent the influx of all these counterfeits? And so it's going to be interesting to see how that group comes together and how they decide what the focus is going to be and what our main programs are going to be. So I'm really excited about that. That's just something else to do in my spare time that I'm really going to enjoy.
It's a true public service.
Yep, I agree.
Yes, and it should be. It should be a true public service. Yes.
So Shannon hosts a group on YouTube called Livecoin QA. Is there something else that you do besides that, or is that like your main focus in online?
That's one of my main focuses in my side world. Yes, I mean I do have a job that I do daily and all that good stuff. I'm not actually a salesperson, but I work for a company who sells product to retailers like Walmart, Kmart, those kinds of guys, you know.
Heck yeah.
So
But
yeah,
Livecoin Q&A is a really cool place where it's like no question goes unanswered.
pretty much. Yeah, we have our channel is one that's made up of a group of coin nerds that we all have different backgrounds, different experience levels, and I would still say that I'm the kind of the youngest of the group. I'm the newest to the group, but I've been there now for over 2 years about. And what we do is we try to offer as much education as possible, and it's all come watch the videos, because there's a lot of stuff that we do on the live streams that help explain different varieties and errors, and we try to help people figure out what they might have. We've had a lot of really big coins come out of emails that viewers have sent to us asking us questions, which is really kind of cool,
Mhm.
But what we do is we allow people to, like I say, send in their pictures of their coins and their questions, and then we try to answer them. Is this something? Do I have something? Yeah, it is, or it isn't. We also have a Facebook group that's called Coin QA, which is another place where you can go and everybody will post pictures of their coins, and we'll have discussions about those. And we've actually started recently looking at some of those coins to be put onto our live stream, because we do have a lot of people that have some really good stuff showing up on the Facebook group too. So it's really kind of fun. And if you're into things, other than just straight collecting, as far as, I've got the entire Lincoln Cent collection. It's great information, and we just try to help out as much as possible. So, and we have a good time doing it. So if you want to come hang out with us, we're on Monday nights at 7:30 Central. I don't know what that is for the
That's
other
8 Eastern. That
time frame.
is,
There you go.
is
Yeah,
5 to
8:30
7.
Eastern and 5:30 whatever
Yes.
West
Mountain.
Coast Mountain, yeah, whatever. So
So it's
anyway,
it's a
that's
lot
what
of fun, and it's a really cool group. And I will tell you that recently they helped me out when I was stumped. So I mean, there's no question it's too complex or too simple. They take them all and they do the best they can with them.
And I'll tell you, the biggest thing for me is, and I know a lot for the others too, is there's a lot of learning that we do, because it's kind of like, we'll see things that we've never seen before, or, not sure about. We have to go research just as much as anyone else would, to help figure out. But we've also had a lot of people who start at a level of total, introduction to coin collecting, and now they're finding things that are really awesome, out in their coins in the wild, or they're picking up things at shows that are really nice cherry picks or things like that. So it's great to see everyone developing and learning together. So really cool. It's a lot of
I've
fun.
got a question regarding your kind of newer focus on. So you've always been the crossroads of silver stacking, education, and
Entertainment.
entertainment. That's right. Those are his pillars. So you started out really primarily stacking silver, and I know that now you're becoming more of a coin collector.
Mhm.
Is this going to change your brand? Is this going to just be something that you broaden things with? It's I know that education is always been a really big concern of yours, or at least a big focus of what you're doing.
Yeah, the
Sure.
three pillars are education, acquisition, and entertainment. And that kind of applies to stacking and, coin collecting. But what I actually do has evolved over the several years. And, I did kind of consider it, perhaps rebranding or tweaking my name or something like that. But I'll probably always be a stacker at heart. Since, I don't consider myself anywhere close to an expert in coin collecting, maybe not even mid-level. I consider myself a novice. And so I'd rather lead with, I'm a stacker who really enjoys coin collecting, rather than proclaiming that I'm a coin collector, because I don't know, that kind of gives a connotation that I know what the heck I'm doing. I'm an expert or something like that. And I'd rather be a stacker that surprises people that he knows a little bit about coins than the other way around. So
I feel like us true coin nerds have gotten our hooks in you just a little bit.
yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So
I think that we've converted him, and
no, there's not a full conversion, but we've definitely done some things that are trending that direction.
You run a lot of auctions,
Mm-hmm.
and you do some silver pouring.
Right. Yeah. That's one of the things I've picked up, and I thoroughly enjoy that. It allows me to have a creative outlet, but at the end of the day, I'm taking boring old buffaloes and I'm adding them to my stack in a different form, something cool and neat, and maybe even increasing the value of that silver by transforming it through the artwork. And it's quite enjoyable. I've always been an artist, and this is just my latest medium. But you know what, as far as coin collecting right now, I feel like I'm kind of all over the place. I see something, I like it, and then I see something else and I like that. And I haven't really just narrowed down, and I've realized, I don't know if I ever will narrow down and just find one specific little niche of coin collecting and just dive into that world and be, into that exclusively, because there's just so much cool stuff out there. And you guys show me stuff, and I learn about stuff that makes me just really love the hobby,
It's the best part about it. You can collect any way you want, and it's not wrong.
Yeah. Great point.
Yeah, you have a way of finding people that are very passionate about the hobby.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's kind of what makes your videos work so well, is people like Sherry, people like Matt, people like Russ and me, that really, really, we can't wait to show you something. We can't wait to teach you something. And it's like the way you capture it and you present it is really cool. I've always liked your intros to your videos, the stuff that goes into it. Now you're starting to have like Benny Hill references and other stuff that, little clips, which are always fun.
Well, I try to make the type of videos that I myself would like to watch and consume. And so I keep that in the back of my mind. I see some of my other folks on YouTube that feel like they just need to churn out the material, and I'd rather make less and be happy with what I'm putting out there into the world than just constantly churn out 3, 4, 5, 6 videos a week. And so I kind of favor quality, and I think people appreciate that. But I, to your point about seeking people out, I think I ask a lot of the questions that the average Joe would ask that's not an expert. And I truly am curious, and I truly am, amazed at some of the stuff I see. And maybe that resonates with the average coin collector as opposed to the expert.
So, let me ask Jack Young, because now we don't have young Jack, so we don't have to worry about that. What was it that got you into collecting? When did you start?
Actually, I did start with my grandmother collecting Lincoln pennies and a blue board. And she passed. I actually still have that blue board of Lincolns. She was pulling Lincolns out of circulation, of course. We never got a 1909S or SVDB, but we got quite a collection, doing it that way. And then I got interested in large cents, I don't know, somewhere in high school. I think a friend brought a couple large cents in, and I thought, oh, those are really cool. And I like the history, did some research, and we had an arcade that had a coin shop in it. And I went in and bought a couple just calls that I still have, large cents. And so I got more and more interested in that. And then I started looking at who are the experts and how do you better research that. And I found Early American Coppers, EAC, and I joined that group back in 2020 and really caught the copper bug at that point. And I had friends that were collecting the 1794s by variety, and that's a deadly bug to get because there's 58 varieties, and some of them are very, very tough and very expensive. And I got to 54, and when I decided that I probably had too much money and time invested in it, and ended up selling that collection. And so I really kind of reinvented myself. Back in 2015, we found the first really serious counterfeit. It was in a TPG holder. And I talked about that in our last show. It was a 1798. We couldn't attribute it. And I found 3 or 4 more on eBay at the time. And that really got me started into the counterfeits. And that's been my focus really since 2015. You know, I do have 70 some articles written, and Matt, yeah, I don't have one in Coin World. It is what it is, but I've got a lot in just about every other venue, and Coin Week in particular. And to T's comment, I love to write articles, but I want them to be accurate. You know, the worst thing in the world, especially in counterfeits, is to put out bad information, and I just won't. And I'll pass on a coin if I don't want to make a decision on it, or I don't want to make a statement about it if I can't do the research first. And so I'll do that. I'll do a deep dive, and that's really how we got into the heart of the really deceptive ones, the ones that are in the TPG holders. So I started back into large cents. I'm working on a date set of countermarked, not counterfeit, but countermarked coins. And I've got some of the tough ones now. I got a 1793 with a countermark. I've got their counter stamp. I've got a 1804. I got a 1799. You know, some of the big boys. And so as I find one, I pull one into the collection. But you know, they're really damaged coins, so you can get a really difficult coin at a bargain price because of the countermark.
So can I just say one thing that I took from that whole conversation is we need to bring back the coin shop / arcade idea.
Oh yeah,
because that is brilliant.
You know, my comment on it, and to Jack's point, is that I think it was the rigor that the copper collectors take, you know, in learning the die marriages and things like that, that sparked him being able to look at a coin and start looking for the details that make it either, you know, genuine or not. I think there's a lot of very common ground in that stuff.
And Jack,
you know,
I visit so many coin shops, and every single coin shop owner I've ever met has a box of counterfeits somewhere. One of them I know calls it the box of shame because either he took it in or one of his associates took it in. And now most of them use it as, you know, teaching tools and things like that. But it's pretty fun to see what's in there.
Yeah,
it is. Absolutely. And about everybody has one of those black boxes. I'm sure Matt does as well.
Yeah, I started making I just started making little short reels about the stuff in our black box. I'm trying to take one of the coins that's in our black box and put it next to a real one and compare. So just for fun.
You just did a really cool video. And of course, I put it everywhere I could. But, you know, we see fake 1909 SVDBs every day. I mean, every day. And, you know, we've developed some pretty good diagnostics on how to do that. And Matt put it in the video, and it was just the coolest thing. I put it on both my Facebook groups. And those kind of informational videos that show images and shows the good and the bad, you know, which is what I've always done in my articles. You know, there's another group that does articles on counterfeits, and they never show a comparison. They just show a coin and say, well, this has got a dot here, or this has got that there. I've never done that. I always compare it to an attributable coin so that you can see, first of all, what's wrong. and then
Yep.
go from there. You know, and attribution is where you start. If you can't attribute it, Houston, we got a problem. No question in my mind.
Well, let's take a look to the chat. I'm gonna just kind of scroll back, and if you guys have any questions for anybody that's hanging out here tonight, go ahead and fire them off in the chat, and we'll see if we can't take some of your guys' questions here. Let me see. William said, "I'm still learning after 59 years in numismatics. I've seen more fake coins in the last 4 years than the previous 55 years. What's going on?" And that is probably a great question, actually, for Jack Young to tackle. What is going on? Why are there so many fakes in the last 4 years versus the previous 50 years?
I think the opportunity to sell them has increased. I think that numismatics, the interest in that in the hobby has continued to increase. I think that there are folks that are looking at a lot of coins as investment grade coins. And so there's an opportunity there. The ones that I originally got involved in, most of those were not very expensive varieties. And they were ones that they were trying to fly under the radar. But they've gotten to the point now where, I mean, I just saw one, it was a 1913 V nickel. I mean, they're going after some of the big boys now.
Yeah.
And just trying you know, they're baiting people into it and seeing whether or not they can get them to bite. And so it definitely has increased. Technology has improved and has made it easier to make counterfeits in my mind as well. With 3D technology and the printing technologies and even the CNC advancements they've had in manufacturing, it's become easier and easier to make the dies or to make the cast molds or whatever they may be using. It's just become easier. And then on the other side of it, we're not stopping it. You know, I'm sorry, but that's one of the things that I preach all the time. We're not stopping it. You know, they're coming in, and you know, obviously there's other things for Secret Service and other groups to be looking at that are probably more important than the onesie twosies coming in from China. And every now and then they'll get a boatload, and you'll see about that. You know, but they're counterfeiting just 1965 quarters, and you know, trying to put them into circulation. I mean, it's the opportunity is there, the technology to make them is there. Anybody can make them for pennies, and you know, there's just nobody stopping it at this point.
Absolutely insane. You're exactly right. Let me check here. Tony asked, and this is probably a question for Shanana, says, are there any 2024 Silver Eagle Air reports yet? So, Shannon, do you know of any yet?
I don't know of any particular ones. I mean, I will say that some of the newer coinage that we've seen coming out of the U.S. Mint has not been in great shape. I think the most common things that we've seen are maybe some strike throughs, something getting in between the die and the planchet of what's being struck. But I don't have any real information on 2024s yet. We haven't seen a lot of things in circulation, you know. So I'm sure it will start peaking though pretty quick.
Yeah, I feel like we're about that time of year where people have seen enough of them where they're going to start to notice things.
Right.
And that definitely.
I mean, as far as coinage in circulation, I've seen zero for 2024 yet in my area, but I'm kind of central U.S., so we don't get it immediately usually.
I haven't seen any
out there already though.
I haven't seen any 2024 coinage at all. Nothing.
Usually, I think there's been some out in like on each coast. It usually comes in like that from what I've seen before. But yeah, it won't take long.
All the patterns have changed since they went to these gigantic ballistic bags. You know that they ship stuff out, and you need a forklift to move these things.
Right.
Let's see. Go ahead, Mike. You had something?
Well, no, I was going to say that, Jack had made a comment about, not seeing enough videos that educate and do it correctly. And a lot of that is because the system kind of incentivizes clickbait. And I think that we're up against that every single day, is that we're trying to put responsible information out there. But unfortunately, it's just not what churns the algorithm. So, YouTube doesn't help us. They help clickbait people, and they literally, it's like I forget who the mythological character was that was pushing the stone, and trying to get it up the hill. And
Atlas.
yeah, well, I don't know if that was it, but there was a whatever.
So yeah, I was just gonna say that the YouTube seems to like those videos, and you know what's funny is working in a coin store, we can actually tell you almost down to the topic as to what videos have been picked up by the algorithm by our phone calls. So like the last couple of weeks, it's been 1976 quarters, and it's
$2 bills before that.
Yep, $2 bills before that. That's right. And then this week started with 1954 wheat pennies for some reason. We got 3 calls in one day about 1954 wheat pennies. Somebody saw on the internet that they were worth a lot of money, and they're really mad at me that I'm only going to pay them 4 cents for theirs or 3 cents for theirs. And
well, they're worth a lot of money, Matt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, every one of them.
Well, I started telling
we see that same thing. I was going to say we see that same thing. Whenever Sean, whenever we're still around, he puts a video out. That next week we just get a flood of, what we saw this or whatever, and do I have it?
Yeah.
And,
I had a conversation with Tommy Miner over at Hoosier Coin and Currency, and our conversation was just like the very week that somebody put out one of those goofy articles, and his phone was ringing off the wall. And he was mentioning something about the way it was all because of an article that was written. And he was mentioning something about the wonky way that the article was written. I kind of wonder how much of that is like Chat GPT and AI and that kind of thing.
It was one. I saw those articles.
That's all that matters.
I saw those articles. They were 100% AI written, and AI kept recycling it, and the numbers kept going bigger and bigger every time it would regurgitate the story. So different websites were regurgitating the same AI written story, and the numbers the value of the coins just kept going up every time. It was really strange.
So it's kind of like whispering in somebody's ear, the chain, the chain whisper down the line, and it comes out totally different.
That's exactly right. I think the first one I saw was 100,000, and by the end was $100 million is what those coins, 76 quarters, by the way, what those were worth. So
they've got full drum lines.
Full drum lines, that's right.
Yeah. But I don't know what to make of it.
It's weird. It's weird. Okay, Barry has a question for T. He says, what is the Venn diagram for silver stacking and coin collecting? Is it like 2 separate hobbies for the longest time? He said it's looked like 2 separate hobbies for the longest time. Is there...
Well, to me, I think the crossover of those 2 circles is kind of mashed up pretty good, and I found myself right in the middle of that. I don't know I don't think I coined this term, but I used this term early on when I started my channel. I called myself a stack elector, and I like stacking things that were interesting and I considered collectible, and kind of the Libertad, Mexican silver Libertad, kind of checks 2 boxes for me. A, no matter what condition of the coin, it's silver, and then B, depending on the condition, I consider them collectible. And obviously in the hobby, a lot of folks are looking at bullion coins, or what were originally considered bullion coins, as collectible and numismatic, and where that might have been scoffed at 20 years ago, 10 years ago, maybe even sooner than, more recently than that. Now go and try and find a 1998 Libertad. Good luck. That's the key date, and the conditions that you find them in, because they weren't really well taken care of, as if they were collector coins when they started out. I bought mine for like 350, and now I think it's like almost triple that in a slab at the grade I have it at. And so that's really taken off. So I think lines are being blurred a lot more than they were before.
Can I take a crack at it?
Sure.
So, Barry, it's like I love the Venn diagram thing. It's like, where's the overlay? I think he hit it when he said bullion coins, because as soon as it's not bullion, it is the bullion with dates. It's the bullion with mint marks. It is the bullion that is made in different places. That I think that in '86, when they started making silver eagles, in the United States, and gold eagles, there were people that saw a date on it and go, okay, it's a coin. And I think there's your overlap for your Venn diagram. That's really it.
Yeah.
And I think that it really was created that recently.
Mm-hmm.
Now the question is,
hopefully that answers Barry, and thank you for the question, Barry.
Heck yeah. Well, friends, we've been going for almost an hour, and I am exhausted, but not of you guys, of my long, long day. So, Mike, anything else you want to cover tonight?
No, I think we really want to thank everybody for showing up. We definitely want to thank our guests.
There's a lot to digest from what just happened here, so I need that. I need a little
young Jack,
information tums,
Shannon Smith, and T the Silver Stacker making a reveal for us tonight. So now is that going to become more of a common thing, or are you still going to kind of keep it under wraps?
Oh, you know what? I kind of TBD, but I do want to thank you guys. It's a pleasure and honor to chat with all of you, and it's been a lot of fun. But I don't know, maybe on other people's channels, Mike, I'll pop in like this and maybe keep it hands and coins on mine.
This man rescheduled his auction to be here tonight, so big props.
It's all good. I appreciate the offer and the opportunity to hang out with you guys. It's always a pleasure.
Heck yeah. Well, thank you guys so much. And Jack Young, again, thank you. Shannon Na, thank you so much. And T, again, thank you.
Yeah.
My pleasure.
And thanks for having us. Articles from the Darkside and his Fun with Fakes group on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
And you can join Coin QA on Facebook, or you can tune into the live Coin QA podcast. What do you guys call it? Is it a
show? Yeah, I guess.
The live Coin Q&A spectacular every Monday.
Spectacular extravaganza.
Spectacular show.
Well, friends, thank you so much. I'm going to go ahead and hit this button. Thank you. Let's wave bye, everybody. Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Yeah.
Sorry, I stuck around.
Well,
Yeah.
that's-
Actually,
That's what-
Jack didn't surprise me. That guy always bolts. Just